All right, so this Huawei Mate XT, it's got everyone talking, right?
Yeah.
2,800 bucks, trifold screen, and a sunscreen detector. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You really dug into this one.
Yeah, well, it's more than just another phone launch, you know? It's a whole statement,
Yeah.
especially with everything Huawei's been dealing with.
For sure, the whole U.S. sanctions thing,
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
They had to basically build their own, what are they called, Kirin chips?
The Kirin chips, yeah.
And those are actually what's running this new phone. Kind of a wild comeback story when you think about it.
It really is, and those chips are kind of the key to this whole gamble Huawei is taking. Because, I mean, getting cut off from U.S. suppliers, that was huge, right? But it forced them to, like, innovate, figure out how to do it themselves.
Yes.
So now these chips are, like, a symbol of that whole struggle.
Yeah.
And of how much they want to compete globally, but on their own terms.
So it's like they're saying, we got this. We can do cutting edge even without.
Exactly. And the timing of this launch, right when the iPhone 16 is coming out, it's all very deliberate. They're tapping into this whole thing in China right now. Guoqiao.
Guoqiao. All right. Got to ask, what is that exactly?
So basically, it's this wave of national pride, Chinese consumers wanting to buy, you know, Chinese brands, like cool made in China, where quality and being innovative are tied to being local.
So it's not just about the phone itself, it's buying into this idea of like Chinese tech being dominant.
Exactly. And they're playing into that with some of the Mate XT's features, like that sunscreen thing you mentioned. Super quirky and really targeted, I think, at the Chinese market.
Yeah, how does that even work? Is that something we'll see more of, you think? Like features that are super specific to, I don't know, a local market?
Could be. I mean, tech is getting more and more personalized, right? So catering to those little cultural things, consumer preferences, could be a really smart move.
Yeah.
That price tag, though, that's a whole other story.
2,800, that's bold. More than Apple's ever charged, isn't it?
It is. They are 100% trying to be seen as luxury.
Going right for that top spot.
Oh, absolutely. They want to take on Apple, especially in China. But it's bigger than just brands, even. This whole thing is part of a trend, a global one, tech sovereignty.
Okay, so we've got Huawei's journey, this Guoqiao thing, and now tech sovereignty. I got to be honest, not totally clear on what that last one means exactly.
So basically, it's countries saying, we don't want to rely on other countries for our tech anymore, building up their own systems, their own supply chains, all of that.
So it's like a whole race to control what tech, even IS in the future.
Yeah.
Not just making cool new gadgets, but who has the power?
Right. Exactly. And it's playing out everywhere you look, really. The U.S. and China, obviously, with the whole semiconductor fight. But even Europe trying to build its own cloud systems. These aren't just tech disagreements. It's about control, power, who gets to make the rules of the game, you know?
So like the whole world's about to change because of phones. I mean, it's kind of hard to wrap my head around that.
Right. And for, like, regular people, that means some interesting questions.
Like what does all this tech sovereignty stuff even mean if you're just, you know, trying to decide what phone to buy?
Yeah. Well, it could mean, like, having to choose features, price, even where a company's from. All those things might matter more.
So not just which phone takes the best selfies anymore, huh?
Right. Think about it. What if your phone was, like, a whole political statement? Would you pay more for one made in your country, even if it meant, I don't know, less features maybe? Or some apps wouldn't work.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, support local, that's great, but I like my apps. What do you think? I mean, will people actually do that? Pick, like, national pride over just what works best?
Hard to say. People are complicated. It's always a balance, practicality versus, you know, beliefs.
Yeah.
But I think these decisions, they're going to get harder, definitely, as tech gets more and more tied to, like, where you're from, your identity.
Okay, so back to Huawei for a sec. This whole Mate XT thing. Genius move, or total flop waiting to happen. They want that top spot, but can they really take on Apple, especially at that price?
It's a gamble, for sure. That price is, well, it's a lot, even if China's economy is growing fast.
And what about actually, you know, making the thing? Didn't our research say something about the chip shortage still being a problem?
Totally. Even if people want it, actually getting a Mate XT could be tough.
Like they're trying to build a Ferrari, but they can only find parts for a Honda Civic.
Exactly. That's the risk with, like, pushing the limits of what tech can do.
Yeah.
There's always stuff you don't see coming.
So what if it just flops? Nobody buys it. All those pre-orders vanish. What then?
See, even if it's not a huge commercial hit, even if it's more like, you know, a limited edition thing, it still does something for Huawei.
Okay, now I'm really curious. What do you mean?
It's a symbol. The Mate XT, it's them showing off, saying, look what we can do to their competitors, to the government, everyone. It's Huawei trying to be the face of Chinese tech.
So even if it fails, it's them saying, hey, we're here, we're innovating, don't count us out.
Exactly. It's bold, it's showing they can do it their own way, and that message, that matters, even if the sales don't follow.
So basically, this phone's a bigger deal than it seems, even if it's, crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's definitely a sign of where things are headed. Like, tech is going to be way more about countries' global stuff than ever before.
And for anyone listening, I guess it means deciding on a new phone.
Hmm.
Might not just be about, do I like these emojis better anymore?
Right, you said it. It's like, what kind of tech future are you, like, voting for with your wallet?
Whoa, deep. So are we, like, headed for this world where everything's separate, different phones, apps, all split up by country.
Could be. I mean, it's already kind of happening. Governments and companies, they want to back their own team, right? Not depend on anyone else.
And is that good, bad? I mean, does that slow everything down? Less choice for us.
Ah, tough questions. I mean, yeah, there's downsides. More competition sometimes means everyone's doing the same work twice, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe some cool tech only exists in certain places.
On the other hand, maybe that just means more variety. Like, instead of one best thing, it's lots of different bests depending on where you are.
Exactly. Competition can be good, pushes everyone to be better, do something new. We might not even be able to imagine the cool stuff that comes out of it, right?
So, not all doom and gloom then. There are some potential upsides too.
Exactly. And that's why, like, paying attention to this stuff matters. Thinking about it. It's not, like, pre-decided. We all have a say in how this turns out.
Well said.
Yeah.
So, to kind of wrap up our little Huawei Mate XT journey here, it's more than just a phone, right? It's like the symbol of everything changing in the tech world.
Yeah.
Countries, money, what we buy. It's all tangled up now.
For sure. And as we're all, figuring this out, the best thing is to just think critically, right? Ask questions. Don't just accept what you hear. This stuff has big consequences.
Couldn't agree more, because like you said earlier, we're not just buying gadgets anymore. We're kind of deciding what the future of tech even looks like. So that's something to keep in mind next time you're due for an upgrade. What kind of future are you supporting? Thanks for diving into it with us.